So
Uh-huh.
on the other
And
side,
oh yeah,
and it
there you
is going to
go.
be Shaman.
Oh whoa, there's a Cogmaster.
Oh wow.
This is a new shaman I haven't seen before. It's gonna be interesting. All right.
And I'm fairly certain Kunzi hasn't mulliganed yet. So we'll be looking at that here. Yeah, there we go. Kunzi's mulligan just happened. He got a knife juggler in return.
And yeah, Cogmaster opening is pretty interesting because anytime you
Wow.
have something like a mech to follow up, it's basically a flame imp that doesn't hit yourself. So
Yeah.
Cogmaster was one of those cards that I thought was really bad when I looked at it, but it's actually pretty insane, right? If you treat it as like a flame imp, and
Right.
every zoo deck plays flame imp because it's insane.
Yeah. And out of all the mechs you could get on turn 2 for that Cogmaster, that Annoyatron's really going to help out with the taunt. You have the Rockbiter weapon too. So even if the Juggler comes out to kind of just threaten trade, I think Faramir is going to deal with that quite efficiently.
Right. You can even use the Rock Rider weapon, for example. But whoa,
Yeah.
interesting. Choosing not to use the knife juggler there. It's gonna get
Okay.
rewarded actually. Very nice.
All right. So Kunzi trying to think a little bit ahead.
Now there's definitely something weird with Cogmaster. I remember. Like when you reversing switch a Cogmaster, it actually loses the buff. So I
Oh
actually think that
yeah.
if you outdoor a Cogmaster, it actually loses its buff. That's really weird, right? There is definitely a
Huh.
bug with a Cogmaster that's really weird.
Yeah.
I don't think Blizzard fixed it yet. So yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I do. Where the switching the health value itself doesn't seem to continue the buff itself. It just
Right.
actually brings it back to a flat value. But either way, we won't see that happening because he's just gonna go ahead and trade that board, bring himself back up with the zombie chow.
Yeah. By the way, that's the one of the reasons where that I don't play Cogmaster because I can't. It's not logical, uh,
Yeah,
and I don't like cards that aren't logical.
yeah. No, I hear you, man. Even if you know that it's gonna happen, you could play around it. But if it feels a little bit counterintuitive, then as a player, sometimes that can just be unnerving.
Mhm. I mean, there are a lot of cards that are also like you can actually piece things out, right? For example, if you mirror entity a echoing ooze, then you also get the echo effect. Like you can
Mm,
kind of like picture that happening, but you can't picture what happens with Clockmaster.
yeah.
I think
All
Aldo
right.
on the
Well,
Shredder here is really smart. Because now your opponent needs to make a bad trade to get the Death Rattle effect.
mm,
Otherwise, it's just gonna sit there. So, ooh, choosing to the Spirit Tank instead. Um,
okay.
yeah, I'm definitely a bigger fan of the outdoing the Shredder instead. But I think if he didn't do that, then the Spider Tank will trade very cleanly with the outdoor, which is something we
Right.
want.
Yeah. So now this, at worst case, it's gonna trade at least with what's on board, just a shredder for shredder trade, and
Wow, Rogue
Zap-O-Matic comes in.
Sapomatic, yeah, deserves a deck slot too. That's really interesting. Oh, we're gonna see two random stuff. Okay. I guess Faramir got the better end of things. I mean, Ana Addict is probably not that good.
Yeah, it's definitely a card that can throw you off a little bit, though. Um, Especially
Right.
if for instance, if Kunzi had the cards to work with it, which right now we don't really see, but
Paladins don't use spells. They only use
yeah.
Muster. What's it cost free, and that's about it. Uh, so Farmer's gonna hold back on the spinning up, and that's actually gonna get rewarded because pretty sure Consecrate is gonna come out here.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to. I mean, you get rid of both the Cogmaster and the Pyromancer cleanly.
Mhm.
You'll also get the Attic buff, so we'll see if he uses the Attic to clear the tank. Yep, since that will always revert back to 1 damage.
Mhm. But we see a Fire Elemental here, so it's actually a bit better to use the Aldo to trade. Funny enough.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
in this room sense.
Okay, so actually this is pretty good. So you can actually use the muster to clear the fire elemental. Very weird interaction that you don't see every day with the Mana
Mana,
Addict.
yeah, the mana addict.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. I guess Kunzi is actually sitting very pretty here with the Consecrate. That was a big swing. Was a really big swing. Man, Mech Shaman. I mean, I'm expecting Power Maces. I'm expecting double Power Maces for Faramir.
All right. Now a Coghammer in hand for Kunzi too. I'm wondering if what else he's running through here. If he wants to try to use a charge on the Coghammer or whatnot.
Oh no! I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I feel like that just allows the Fire Elemental to
Oh,
get favorable trades or damage to face.
oh
And
no!
probably just getting rid of the addict or something like that here.
That's not the play I like. Man, the Mana Addict could have got so much value. Like, Mana Addicts usually do not get value at all, right? It just sits there and dies. But oh no, wow, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, well,
Even
get rid of that.
Oh.
Yeah, that actually allowed Faramir's plays to be a little bit more just
Yeah,
quite
Faramir just
simple.
came out
And his
to
Fire Elemental is still alive.
Hmm. So now Kunzi is in a little bit of trouble now. I guess you could kind of force the Coghammer on the Lotheb, right? Just trade in both your creatures first. But then you can't really trade them nicely.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, with the True Silver, you can clear the big bodies and take damage to face, but you'd also be intentionally giving the heal from the Chow also over to Faramir, so...
Oh, you have to kill the zombie Chow right now. You have to.
Yeah, either way you'd have to, so...
Yeah.
I'm not sure which is the lesser of two evils here for Kunzi.
Oh, how about this? You play the Cogmaster, and you call it the Coghammer, I mean, and then you change it to the True Silver. Oh, yeah,
Okay,
he's doing it the way around too, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's doing that.
I would think so.
Ooh.
We're not just gonna go straight for the trade.
Oh man, like you could have Coghammers for the free for kind of like a free 5/5, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I guess you value your weapon a lot, but man, like with those weird plays, I'm not really sure I agree with all of those. But now Faramir is definitely way ahead.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because now you're way ahead. It's like you are losing so bad, and now you're way ahead.
Well, it changes on a dime sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, armor plating is better used on the 4/4. I guess you could go with Lotheb. I don't like Lotheb too much though. I would have preferred the Totem, Sapomatic, and also the armor plating on the 4/5 instead.
Yeah. I mean, now it's a clear trade for the Tinkertown.
Right.
But
yeah, both of these players are playing pretty fast, and this Coghammer is not gonna be useful because you're against a Shaman, right? I mean, you can't do that against a Shaman. It just gets hexed and earthshocked.
yeah. And we do see the hex.
Right. A Taunt Totem could be pretty big here.
Absolutely, especially with the Zapomatic in hand. Is he gonna get it? He gets it.
Oh, there you go.
And...
Well, I mean, Black Knight has something to say about that, but still, like... I mean, from Faramir's perspective, Taunt Totem is exactly what he needed.
He also has equality, so there's some ways to go through this, but...
Does decide to go with equality.
Yeah, and goes through all of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Flips the whole board. That's good.
All right, and he's the one left for the 4/5.
Yeah, both players have been playing this matchup really quickly. Really
yeah.
quickly.
Now it's up to the draws.
It's kind of like a top decking game. And
yeah.
yeah, Kunzi has a better wow.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's
well, if it's a game of draws, why not draw 3, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I think Faramir's gonna lose this one just based on this one. Like that one tried to steal. Like they were neck and neck, I think. Maybe if Faramir draws something like a, oh my god, Faramir needs
And
to
the
Lightning
quartermaster,
Storm
too.
so fast. Like, Faramir needs a Lightning Storm. He's
Yeah,
dead.
there's no way to go out of that because the quartermaster with the muster is there.
Yeah, and Mech Shaman doesn't have that kind of thing, you know. You don't have card draw. You don't have like a lot of wiggle room. Oh man, this is painful to watch now.
Yeah.
This is very painful to watch.
Yeah, I think and Faramir I think kind of knows that he's just trying to hang on to that last thread, but it's not really gonna come through.
And yeah, I mean, you can just I mean, if you're really scared of Lightning Storm, then you don't have to use the muster. But I mean, your opponent really has one card. You can do it.
Yeah,
And I
I
think
mean,
you quartermaster immediately too. It's just so you know, just so you get that one thing. Oh wow, playing really slow. Okay. Why not?
okay, all right.
I guess you can go both ways of that. And that, yeah, this is the problem with Mech Shaman, is that the card draw is a problem.
Yeah, you were just sitting on 2 dead cards now.
Like I'm pretty sure if you're running this kind of deck, you need like 2 Gnomish Inventors or like a mixture of Adrix and stuff like that. It's much more different than a mage, a mech mage, right? Because that's what you compare it to. Mech mages have the blast mage, which actually deals damage to the board, and also have like the ping that deals damage to the board, right? Shaman, you kind of play a little bit more defensively because Power Mace is like the card you really want early on, and the later you get it, the more you can't really, you know, do anything about it. And Crackle is kind of like the fireball that doesn't really fireball. So it's the fireball that's not a fireball.
Yeah.
So you don't really want to do that. Definitely not. I've been playing around Mech Shaman myself, and I've never got it to work. And this time it's not going to work as well, unfortunately.
And for Kunzi, his draws have just been rewarding him for saving that muster because now you know he's threatening Lightning Storm. He has pretty much equal damage anyway than if he had used that combo. Just gonna drive it home here.
Yep, that is pretty much GG. The quartermaster has too much burst. Just the Power Mace was too slow.
Yeah, he got it there at the very end. I mean, the taunt totem will slow one thing out, but yeah, he's just using all his cards because the game is over with lethal on board. Well played from Faramir, and Kunzi climbs right back in with 2 wins in a row with Paladin.
Yeah, very well done. That's exactly what you want to do. I mean, otherwise you pretty much are going to lose if you're down to that one last deck and it's a priest, right? Yeah, part of me still